This is Thea Lightweaver. Today I want to talk about the goddess Sekhmet, who is the protector of Ma'at. Ma'at is a goddess who is in charge of keeping order within the universe, and she is in charge of what is right and just. When things got out of control on Earth, Ra, who is the sun god, he created Sekhmet to go to Earth and uphold Ma'at. Sekhmet is said to have been created from the eye of Ra when things had become very out of balance and Ma'at was no longer being upheld. So Sekhmet sprang forth, and she has a story very much like Kali, where she went on a rampage. She was tasked with destroying evil, and that included humans who were not being good and right, and who Ma'at would have judged had wickedness in their hearts. So she went on a bloodthirsty rampage, and the way that Ra was able to stop her from her rampage, after she had gotten rid of the people who were doing a lot of evil on the earth, was he filled up the Nile River with some beer mixed with calming herbs as well as pomegranate juice, which stained the river red and looked like blood. So Sekhmet started drinking it up. She drank so much that she became intoxicated and fell asleep for 3 nights, which is associated with the 3 aspects of the moon. And when she woke up, she was calm and no longer in a violent rage. So Sekhmet is a protector and also a warrior goddess, and also associated with healing. She is an extremely ancient goddess, one of the oldest in Egypt, and she is said to be associated with the age of Leo. The lion became a symbol in Sumer for the sun and kingship. The female lioness hunts at night, and so this also makes the lioness a symbol of the moon. Lions are said to not even be of this world. I also wanted to talk about what happened when Sekhmet came into my life, well, this lifetime. I knew about her within the Egyptian pantheon, but I never personally had experiences with her until one day I was working at this job. I was used to kind of shrinking myself. I was working for a very oppressive type of person, and I was just afraid to even just be around her energy because she needed to be in charge and in control of everything and everyone. And I sensed that need in her, and I was afraid of what would happen if I stood up for myself. But not just that, she wanted that control so bad that she took energetically from anyone who was around her. And she was drunk on power. As an employee, I kind of shrunk down, and I became very submissive. And this is not a natural state for me or anyone. One of the messages of Sekhmet is that we should stand up and be who we are. Whenever you feel the urge to shrink yourself down, really you should do the opposite and expand your energy as large as it can go. So I went to take a break from that job because I was just not feeling very good around this person. I would get headaches around her. I would feel just very oppressed, and I just needed to kind of take a break from it. So I just went into my car and just sat in a parking lot, just trying to breathe away from this person. And suddenly I felt this being overtake my body. I could see it because I have clairvoyance, kind of an inner vision, and I saw Sekhmet sitting within my body, and I felt her. And she drove my car back to the office, and I went in there and I faced the situation that was going on there. I faced it all when I thought I just wanted to run away. She made me actually feel like I could do anything, like I could stand up to anything. I was prepared and capable of dealing with anything that could come my way. That is the energy that Sekhmet gave to me. I didn't call her. She just naturally came to me. And I believe this is because I have vowed myself to the Egyptian gods in other lives. Another version of Sekhmet is her aspect Bast or Bastet, a very sensual, domesticated cat goddess of Egypt. We have our different moods and we kind of dress for them. That is the same as as the different aspects of Sekhmet. So it is still her. In her domesticated form is this very sensual cat goddess. Ancient Egyptians deified cats and believed that they were sacred, and if anyone harmed them, that was against the law. This ties into Sekhmet's ability of healing, because cats were also seen to have healing powers. They kept away rodents and insects that carry disease. So the more cats were around, the better the hygiene of the area. As we know, rodents and insects can carry disease, so they wanted as many cats around as possible. Cats are also healers. Many of them are known to be therapy cats. Some cats are actually drawn to pain on a person's body. They may curl up on your chest, or they may be drawn to a certain area where you're suffering. And the purr of the cats actually transmute pain. So they are magical little creatures. They are also drawn to electromagnetic activity. They may be drawn to computer wires as they neutralize that. Sekhmet's purpose of coming to the world when it's out of balance and trying to restore Ma'at, that is also connected with how she is said to be tied to plagues. She can unleash a plague, but she also has a cure for all plagues. She is known to hold all cures. This aspect of her, the angry aspect, a lot of times people don't want to look at that. They don't want to face that gods could carry that kind of energy, but it's perfectly normal for gods to be angry and wrathful. It's only New Age teachings that make you want to think everything's light and love. That is not how it works in dualistic worlds. There are many aspects to gods. You can see that in their mythology. Sekhmet is no exception, so she actually is associated with plagues, but you can go to her if it will restore balance. If she deems that it will restore Ma'at, she will provide the cure. And she's also associated with essential oils. If you are an energy worker, I would recommend getting a Sekhmet statue for your office and cultivating a relationship with her. Personally, when I am doing Reiki treatments on people, I will look into the eyes of my Sekhmet statue, and that puts me in sort of a trance state where her energy starts coming through and just flowing into me and then out to my client, my patient. She restores vitality in the body. So if you just let that come through, you be a good channel. You don't try and direct the session with your will, but you just be an open circuit and allow her healing presence to come through, which is very balancing, and then restore your patient to full vitality and restore some eternal life into them. There is also something called Sekhem Reiki, and you can actually attune yourself to Sekhem Reiki. I gave it a try and it worked incredibly. I was laying down and I was trying to connect in, and what that looked like to me was she sent me this capsule of information which contained the Sekhem Reiki. It looked like cobalt blue honeycomb, and it hovered above me, and then it just kind of trickled and showered down into my body, and that linked me to her ancient healing energy. And so I'm also getting the message from her that not everything needs to be explained. Some things are the mysteries. And so if you feel called to her, you can access the knowledge yourself in the inner worlds. You don't need someone to do it for you. It's not all a mental thing to connect in with her or other deities. Sometimes it's better not to run things through the mind, not to put words to them. Because once you run sacred energy through the mind, you give it a name, you speak it, it then has to shrink down to fit into something that our limited brains can process, and the mental plane is not up there that high compared to true spiritual energy. It is a lower instrument. So some things need to kind of escape the conscious mind and go into the subconscious. So I'm giving some keys to link up with her but you can find her yourself, and she wants to work with you if you feel called. Your energy work will take on a more vital tone, and she doesn't come out for all of my patients. It's only some of them that need her medicine. Astrologically, my Mars is retrograde in the 12th house of isolation. Mars being the god of war and anger, that means that the way that I express anger and standing up for myself is turned more inwards and it's more hidden. So I'm not very straightforward with my anger, or someone says something disrespectful, it just kind of turns in, and a lot of the times it will be expressed and dealt with on the inside. That is just the way my chart is. That doesn't mean that it always has to be that way, and that's where these gods come in. So if you are wanting to overcome something like this, if you're someone who just has trouble speaking up for yourself, or you feel weak and you would like more vitality to fight disease, even if your body's running low on energy, if you are running out of ideas on how to cure yourself of something, Sekhmet is a perfect medicine for you. She is so balancing and she is so warm and powerful. The thing is, you have to be someone who acts in accordance to Ma'at. You can't be someone who is trying to harm people for no reason, or maybe just call in a badass goddess to beat up someone for you just for some kind of ego gratification. She doesn't have time for that. She doesn't suffer fools gladly, so she's not there for that. But if you are a truly good person in your heart, in accordance with Ma'at, and that is the way that you move about in this world, then she will fight battles for you and teach you to fight your own battles. She would love it if you would embody her and express her into the world. The gods want their presence to be here. They want everything that they love and everything that they are, they want seen in this world for a righteous cause for Sekhmet. She's not like Aries, who may just be angry just for anger's sake. Sekhmet was created by Ra, the sun god, the oldest of the gods, and because of the purpose that he created her for, you have to remember that purpose when you try and link up with her. It has to be for a just cause. So, associations of Sekhmet. So if you feel called to work with this goddess and you make her an altar, I would recommend using red or yellow or warm colored candles. I keep some catnip essential oil next to her, which she will bless, and she will love it if you put a few drops on her candles that you burn for her. Her element is fire, and she's associated with Aries and Leo, and she is a sun goddess. Really great reasons to work with her are if you need protection, if you need a new beginning, if you need transformative energy of fire, if you need healing, if you are a healer. She will help you to be a greater healer and also watch over your sessions. She's great to call on if you want to activate and awaken something inside of yourself, if you want to be more assertive, stand up for yourself more. And also, she is very protective of babies and children, and she can help you through childbirth. So that ends my video on Sekhmet, and please stay close by. I'm planning to make lots more videos on the different gods and even some card readings in the future. We be rockin', in the car. Lights in the sky, got us talking, bumping us apart. These lights, yeah, these lights, yeah. Well, if you've made it this far through my video, I do have something that I want to say to the spiritual community. Sekhmet is helping me to do this today. I would like to say that there is a lot of false light out there right now. There's a lot of groups who are buying into a lot of the fear that is circulating around the planet. It is using some truths, but these truths are leading people down pathways of fear that go so deep that entities are using these platforms to hijack the conversation and to hijack people's minds, and it's becoming very harmful. Yes, there's corruption going on. There is blatant lies being told, and it's easy to be afraid about the direction that the planet is headed in. But we have to remember that this is a training ground for soul. We come here to basically go to spiritual university level to do those kind of tests. So you can know about this and know what's going on. You can know that a lot of lies and deception is happening. There is infiltration, and we need to practice discernment. And Sekhmet can help with that. So Sekhmet can be a guardian for what comes in and can be at the boundaries of your personal space and energy, and watch and make sure that entities that are hijacking conversations don't come in. So if you feel like you're not yourself and you want to make decisions that typically you wouldn't make without the kind of information that you are receiving, stop and think, is this you? As our mind is an instrument, not a very spiritually advanced instrument, it is subject to being hijacked by lower vibrational entities that just want to keep us stuck here in this world and use us as batteries. So we need to practice discernment, and I would say Sekhmet is a goddess of discernment. So I just wanted to put that out there for anyone interested in my opinion on what's happening in the world right now. Just be careful with your energy and don't let it get overtaken by things that are just basically trying to feed off of us. I wish you all a strong connection with your higher self, discernment. I wish for everyone in the spiritual community to not be used and taken advantage of by lower vibrational entities. I mean, it has to every now and then, because it has to test us. Like, we have to see these complicated things before us and make our way through it and then become stronger spiritual beings by it. But let us remember that they are just that. They're tests, they're illusions, and we don't have to completely be overtaken by fear. We see, oh, that it's actually some kind of corruption, illusionary thing. Like, yes, we know that. We know it is. But don't be afraid and don't make decisions based off of fear. Embody Sekhmet and stand your ground. Ground as in, like, ground yourself. Be centered. And we are protected. And as a soul, as a spiritual being, you can never be harmed. You can never be killed or cease to be. You are eternal. So there's nothing to be afraid of. Green color, looking nice, yeah. Turn it up too loud.